EIDL, we're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to talk about it because the SBA has released some more money. They're allowing another increase. A lot of people have been asking about it, so we're going to dive into that tonight. But for those of y'all who are coming on, if you can hear me, let me know in the comments section. This is going to be a good one. We're going to talk about the EIDL. Tamika, how's it going? OI Style, how's it going? So for those of y'all who are just joining, I don't know if y'all can see the title in the comments or near the comments, but I said I was going to jump on tonight to talk about the EIDL loan, right? The Economic Injury Disaster Loan. So I just received the email today where they literally sent me an email to tell me that they have increased the limit to over 500,000. I'm going to find it right now so I can read verbatim what they said. So in this email, they said, our records indicate that you may be eligible for additional COVID EIDL funds over 500 grand. As of September 8th, 2021, the COVID EIDL program was enhanced with changes such as the following. The cap increased to $2 million from 500,000. Let me repeat that. The cap has increased to $2 million from $500,000. So the cap before was at $500,000. They've now increased it to $2 million. Queen, how's it going? So that's huge, right? So all payments can now be deferred for 24 months from origination. So 24 months, that's 2 years. The COVID EIDL funds can now be used to prepay/pay off commercial business debt and pay federal business debt. So that means if you have business loans that are high interest, you can take this loan to pay off the high interest, and now you have this loan at 3.75%. That also means if you have a tax bill with the IRS, you can now use this money to pay that tax bill, business tax bill. Then it says thousands of small businesses like yourself have already applied for funds beyond 500,000, and you can apply today. Apply for a loan increase over $500,000 by returning to the SBA COVID EIDL portal you used to obtain your original loan from, and then review the EIDL resources. Y'all, this is huge. This is super, super huge. If y'all can hear me, let me know in the comment section. So I can know exactly, if y'all can hear me clearly, because this is extremely important, and I want y'all to take advantage of this money if you have not. How many of you that are listening have gotten money from the SBA when it comes to EIDL? We're not talking about the PPP. We're talking about the EIDL loan. How many of you have gotten an EIDL loan? Let me know in the comment section. And so as y'all are typing, how many of you have gotten an increase in your EIDL? Let me know as well in the comment section. I'm starting to hear from people that they've gotten rejected. And then some people have gotten the increase, but a lot of people have gotten rejected. And somebody actually forwarded me the rejection letter that they received. And the letter stated in this one that they were rejected for unverifiable information, right? So during the loan underwriting process, there were one or more items that were reviewed that caused the SBA to question the validity of certain information you submitted as part of your application. So that's when y'all are filling out these applications, y'all, it's very important that the information that you put on the application is very consistent with what they have on file, right? If you have a business address, it's very important that you are using your business address not only on your tax return, but on loan applications. Everything needs to be uniform. If you have a business phone number, it's very important that you're using that not only on your tax return, but on all loan documents. Use all these things everywhere you apply for something. Anything business related, use your business information. Some of you have gotten rejected because you're putting conflicting information on the application. Why would you put your personal address on a business loan application when you have a business address. It makes no sense, right? And when they reject you, they put you all the way at the bottom or at the end of the line, and now you have to wait. You have to go back and forth and appeal, and that takes forever. They'll give you the money, but you're going to work even harder for it. So it's very important that you put the right information on the application. Let me read some of the comments real quick before I continue. So, Felicia, what's going on? Faithwise Taxes says, I have. Okay. OI Style says it was returned. I don't know what that means. What do you mean by it was returned? So they gave you the money and then they took it back? And then Faithwise Taxes says she was denied, or he or she denied increase and supplemental. So why did they deny you of the increase? And all of you who have been denied, have you tried to appeal? Have you gone through the appeal process, right? So this right here says, if you disagree with our decision, you may request reconsideration subject to the availability of funds. You can submit your request to any of the following. Mail your request to the address at the top of this letter. Fax your request to 202-481-5931. Or email your request to pdcrecons@sba.gov. Your request must be in writing and be received by this office as soon as possible, but no later than 6 months from the date of this letter. It must contain all significant information that will overcome the decline/withdrawal reasons. Pink Overdose Official, how's it going? Payless Tax Services, how's it going? OI Style says, yes, it was returned due to the funds being sent to my personal account versus my business account. That's another thing, y'all. We are in business. We should all have business accounts. We should all be using our business accounts for anything business. If you are putting your personal account, not saying that you did this, OI Style, but if you're putting your personal account on business-related type things, then the IRS or the SBA is going to say, we're going to reject this. We're trying to give you money, but we want you to conduct business. Obviously, we don't want this money going to your personal account because now you have the ability to use this for personal reasons or personal gain, right? So they want everything to be structured properly, right? And if you follow a lot of what I post, it's all about having your foundation together. It's all about being structured in a proper manner, conducting your business like an actual business. And as you do these things, now whenever it's time to go apply for lending, whenever it's time to go do important business moves, you have all your ducks in a row, you have all your documentation together, and it's a much easier process, right? Not saying that it's going to be overall easy, 100%, but it makes the process easier versus having your stuff all over the place, right? So, just because they send it to your personal account, I'm sure you're following up with them. You can still get this money, and it's extremely important. So for those of y'all who are just coming in, we are talking about the EIDL loan and the increase that they are emailing people. I received the email today saying that they have more money to give out and that I should apply, and so that's what I did. I went ahead and I applied for more money. We'll see what happens. And people are telling me, why are you applying for more money? Don't you already, have enough? Didn't they already give you enough, right? But the way I look at it is we are in unprecedented times where we have a lot of money at our disposal. Not just the SBA, but a lot of other institutions are trying to literally hand money over to black businesses, right? But a lot of us are not applying. And even if we are applying, a lot of us don't have our stuff together to even get this money. This reminds me back of when I was in college and I would be in black organizations such as NSBE, National Society of Black Engineers, NABA, National Association of Black Accountants. And there would be so many scholarships that were available, but nobody would apply. And there would be people who would have gotten it if they had applied, but they were second guessing themselves. They were saying, oh, this is too much work. I don't want to go through the process of filling out an application, writing an essay, submitting things. Like, why can't they just give me the money based upon my grades, right? And they're like, no, if we're going to give you this money, we want you to put in a little bit of effort. You know, put in a little bit of effort, have your stuff together. Tell us why you deserve this money. You know, so here we are. Many of us complain. We complain about how we don't have money available to us, right? And I'm not talking about businesses who are startups and who are trying to get money to start their business and grow it. I'm talking about those of us who are in business, who've been in business for a while. We're making some money in our business, and now we're trying to get that money to push our business forward and continue scaling, right? So many times we complain about we don't have these opportunities, but we have a lot of money sitting right in our faces right now, and we have to take advantage of this, right? Because this money, this is the best loan that you're ever going to get in your lifetime. We're talking about a potential 6-figure loan that is 3.75% interest for 30 years. This is a mortgage, essentially. Like, these are mortgage rates, right? And if you've ever applied for a line of credit or a business loan or anything like that, the rates are normally not this low. They're normally around 7, 8, 9%. A lot of times even more if your credit isn't really great, right? So this is a great opportunity to not only get this money, but to use it, to infuse it into your business so that you can continue growing, scaling. You can hire the people that need to be hired. You can hire, hey, Donna, how's it going? You can hire marketers. You can hire accountants. You can hire staff, employees, contractors to really blow up your business, right? And there's people who have said, if I get this money, I don't know what to do with it, right? But you have professionals around, such as myself and my team. We can easily help you come up with the plan, you know, as you get this money and now you become a client of ours. We can map out a plan to help prepare you on how to spend this money, to help guide you on how to repay it back, to really structure your money to where it's going to be like a really, really good process for you to put everything together and have all your ducks in a row and be able to pay this thing back. You know, like if you get, let's say you get $150,000 from the SBA, you should have a plan behind what you're going to do with that money, right? And that money should be able to return you at least 150 back. Best case scenario, double that, triple that, right? But a lot of times what ends up happening is we'll get this money and we'll dump it all into inventory, right? We'll buy all this inventory. We'll be overstocked. But the inventory isn't really moving as quickly as we want it to, you know, because we don't have a plan, or we overestimated our ability to really sell our inventory, right? When instead of just dumping all the money into inventory, we probably should have taken a third of it, put it into inventory, a third of it into marketing, a third of it into hiring that virtual assistant that we needed to hire, hiring that accountant that we needed to hire, hiring that fulfillment person, that person that can help package and send packages and fulfill our product, that customer service person that we need. So that way we don't have to be bogged down with answering the phone, right? So it's very important that there's a plan behind this money. Let me read some of the comments real quick. Promoted Parent, how's it going? Play for Keeps says, can you get these funds if your business hasn't made any money yet? No, you cannot. This is a business loan, right? Your business needs to make money. You got to think about it, right? If I'm a bank and you're coming to me and you're saying, I want money to run my business, but I have not made any money in my business, you're a risk to me, right? It's going to be hard for me to give you money unless you have a really well thought out and written out business plan. You have all your ducks in a row. You have everything in order. If you don't have that in order and I have 150,000, I'm not giving that to you. If I have 10,000, I'm not giving that to you, because I'm not talking about you, Play for Keeps. I'm just talking about in general, because I get this question a lot. Can I get this money if I haven't made any money? Is most likely it's not going to happen, because one of the things they ask you for is how much revenue did your business make, how much cost of goods sold did you have, you know? So you probably have missed out on this money maybe if you haven't made any money in your business, but I wouldn't even get down on that. I would get to work. I would start selling. If you have friends and family that can lend you some money and you can flip that in your business and then pay them back with some interest, that's an option as well. There's different options outside of this, if you haven't made any money in your business. OI Style says, correct, I agree. This is not the norm. It's not. It's not. Coach Janelle, CPA, how's it going? River That Flows says, do you help with this? When you say, do you help with this, are you talking about, do we help with applying for the EIDL, or are you talking about, do we help with devising a plan once you've gotten the money? Blue Lotus Sun, how's it going? Queen Lolo, how are you? Lovely lady Stina, how are you? But for those who are just coming in, we're talking about the EIDL loan. If you've gotten this loan the first time, let me know in the comment section. If you've gotten it. If you've gotten an increase on this loan as well, let me know in the comment section. And let me know how this money has helped your business. Has it helped you expand and grow? Have you been able to do some things that you've always wanted to do? Because now you have an additional amount of money that you can pump into your business. The joys of life, how are you? But yeah, this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like I said earlier, this money is cheap. This is way better than getting a Shopify Capital loan, way better than getting a PayPal loan, a ClearBank loan, all these expensive loans that are out there. This is way better than even a line of credit at a bank. It's way better than a business credit card. It's way better than an actual bank business loan. Interest rate is 3.75%. You pay it back over 30 years. I repeat, the interest rate is 3.75%, which is payable over 30 years. Another thing, the first payment on this loan is deferred for 24 months. You don't have to even start paying this until 24 months later. So what's 24 months later from today? That's September 23rd, 2023. So you literally have 2 years of wiggle room to really not even be responsible for having to pay them back. Now, another thing too, as you're not paying them back, interest is growing, right? So the interest is building from the day that you get that loan. So I don't want y'all to be mistaken about that. But as far as being responsible to pay them back on a monthly basis, paying them a monthly payment, you don't have to do that until 2 years from now. How many of you are going to apply for this loan after hearing all this? And let's talk about it too, right? Because there's a lot of people that say, I don't want debt. I'm scared of loans. So how do we think that these these big companies that are out there, Fashion Nova or whoever is out there is doing their thing? Did they just get money from family? They might have. But a lot of times what business owners will do as they've grown their business or they're scaling, they will now go use other people's money. They will now go approach the bank. They will build that relationship with the bank to be able to now leverage that money that comes from them, from the bank, right? So now they can do bigger and better things. So these are things that we have to start thinking about. We have to start, as we're growing our business, think about what are the other options out there for us versus only using the money that we're earning, versus only using the money that we are pumping into the business from, let's say, savings or 401k or from a job, right? So there's so many options out there that really help us grow. Promoted Parent says, wow, I am. Okay, nice. Felicia says she's going to apply. Cheryl, how's it going? You should be asleep. Hope you're not working. Queen is going to apply. Nice. Sexy Black Gemini, how are you? Take Me to Paris, how are you? This is a golden opportunity, y'all. It's a golden opportunity. If you've been following me for a while, you know I've been focusing on building team, right? Getting more talented people to come work with us, right? but it's not free. You can't do that. If you're talented, you want to be paid, right? So where's that money going to come from? It's either going to come from the business that you're out there selling, and that revenue is coming into your business, and you now turn around and use that to hire someone, or it's going to come from outside sources from your business, such as a loan, right? So this is a golden opportunity for you guys to get some money that you can now go use to hire the right people, right? Because a lot of times when you start your business, what ends up happening is we're hiring people at low rates because that's what we can afford. And so we don't really have the money to hire more qualified, more talented people. But now here it is. OI Style says, I think it's a broken mindset within the black community to save and invest versus taking the bull by the horn and going big. I've been hearing that. I've definitely heard that before, but all that ends now. This generation is going to break all that. Shop BFF says, I want to apply. My company is still listed as a sole proprietor. Okay. I think you should be able to still apply. I don't know. I could be wrong. It's been a minute since I've really focused on EIDL, but when they sent me that email, they got my juices flowing again. It's like, okay, it's time. It's time to really pump this information out there. I'll tell y'all something. We just signed a client yesterday, a multi-million-dollar client. And as I was discussing with them, I brought up the EIDL loan, and they mentioned that their previous accountant didn't even really talk about it, didn't even really, say that they should apply. I actually told them that they didn't qualify, y'all. And this is annoying, because businesses like that, you're already at a certain level. This money could really take you over the top. This could really get you to that next level, right? This kind of money could literally get you from, let's say, a $2 million mark to $5 million in a matter of months if done properly, right? And to know that they didn't get that money back then when they should have, but now that they're with us, they're gonna. And I'm like, look, I think this expires at the end of the year, so I'm pushing them to apply, right? Because I can only imagine what $500,000 or more would do for their already multi-million-dollar business. So there's a lot of people that still don't know about this. There's a lot of people that still haven't gotten this money. So the opportunity is still there. They're increasing it all the time. Now, for those of y'all who are just coming in, $500,000 used to be the max for how much you could get for an EIDL loan. They've now increased it to $2 million. What would y'all do if someone gave y'all $2 million right now for your business, and the only thing that you could do is spend it on your business? What would you do with $2 million? Let me know in the comment section. OI Style says, yes, she can as an independent contractor. All right, did you hear that, Shop BFF? And Shop BFF says, I think I'm more concerned having the loan on my personal credit as opposed to my business credit. That is, I'm glad you brought this up, right? So if you apply for this loan and you get over $25,000, the SBA will require you to now, they'll put like a lien on, like a UCC lien on your business, but they'll also obviously require you to personally guarantee the loan, right? So that's something that you have to think about. I'm personally guaranteeing this loan, which means that if anything goes bad, that I could be personally responsible for it, right? And that is, a big risk. Is really something to think about. But the way I look at it is, I'm at that stage in my life and at that point in the business where I'm going to gamble on the business, right? Obviously, if I get this money, which I have, I'm not going to just get it and just blow it. I'm not going to get it and just do whatever with it. There's going to be a well fine-tuned plan behind it to make sure that we get this business, that we're going to use the money for the right things within the business. We're going to hire the right people, and we're going to accelerate and grow, right? So yes, if you are someone in business and you're not, your confidence is kind of shaky in the business and how it is, where it currently is right now, or you don't necessarily have the knowledge around certain things, then it might not be the right time for you to take this loan. But I will say that there are professionals out there that can help guide you in the right direction. All right. Sexy Black Gemini says, if I get this money, I would spend it on my business. Sarah Lee says, I would hire your team. I love it. Sexy Black Gemini says, can you explain the difference on the EIDL loan and the targeted EIDL loan? That's a good question. Let me see. The targeted EIDL loan, I should still have that in my email. Let me look that up real quick. I think I was going to apply for it, but there was a reason why I didn't. Targeted EIDL loan. So, okay. I see the email. They sent me a reminder to apply for the SBA targeted EIDL advance. Okay. So, dear applicant, our records indicate that you have not responded to our invitation to apply for your SBA targeted EIDL advance. This step is necessary to be considered for the full advance of $10,000 or the difference up to $10,000. If you previously received the EIDL advance last year, the smallest and hardest hit businesses may also be eligible for an additional $5,000 supplemental targeted advance. See details below. So I guess the reason I did not apply because it says the best chance to qualify is the address we have on file for your business meets the low-income community eligibility criteria, which means you are among the most likely business applicants to qualify for the targeted EIDL advance if you also meet the other eligibility criteria above for economic loss. That's what it was. Okay. It says, as we stated in our previous email, if your business is in a low-income community, which my business is, if your business suffered greater than 30% economic loss, which my business didn't, and if your business has 300 or fewer employees, you are eligible to receive the targeted EIDL advance. So I met 2 out of the 3 criteria. So that third criteria I didn't meet because we didn't have greater than a 30% loss last year. We actually grew, right? So I didn't even apply. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing that. It's not for me. It's for other people who needed more, right? And obviously, if I had applied, that would have been fraudulent. So I decided not to apply. So the difference would be the targeted EIDL is more so for businesses that meet that criteria, right? And then the EIDL is for pretty much all businesses that meet certain criteria as well, as far as like economic disadvantage. So if y'all are just coming on, we're talking about the EIDL loan, and we're talking about that they've recently increased the cap, right? So before today, or I don't know when, I think it might have been September 8th. Before September 8th, the cap, the most money that you could get for the EIDL loan was $500,000. They have since raised it to $2 million. Right? So many of us may not qualify for the 2 million, but many of us might qualify for 100. We might qualify for 200. What could that kind of money do for your business right now? What would you do with that money if you were able to get that? And you wake up one morning and you log into your bank account and you see 200 grand. What are you doing with that money? Start preparing your mind for that now, right? Not even necessarily for this loan per se, but in the future, once you start hitting those numbers in your business, start preparing your mind mentally for all that, right? Because a lot of times if we just jump into that and we have success in our business and we're hitting these numbers and we haven't prepared our mindset mentally, we do a lot of crazy stuff with the money, right? So Shop BFF, I appreciate you for the badge. Much, much appreciated. You said thank you. I'm all in with my business and working in full time. I've pretty much been reinvesting my profits, but I need to start paying myself. I love it. I love it. How many of you who are on this live are 100% self-employed and you're not working at a job? Nothing wrong with the job, but I just want to know, like, how many people are 100% in. The Back to Natural, how's it going? Lala says, I'm late. No, you're not late. You're not late. You're right on time. You're right on time. So, we're talking about the EIDL loan right now. Ryan, what's going on? Shop BFS says, I couldn't get the targeted EIDL because I actually grew in the pandemic. I still tried to appeal, but never heard back from them. That's funny. Star Emporium says, are there any SBA loans for businesses that started January 2020? That's a really, really good question. I would call the SBA. I would call them. I know that the loan in the very beginning was specifically for businesses that had started in 2019 for the most part. Although I think they did say if you started your business around January 31st, 2020, then you could apply. But I would call the SBA and find out, because now we're getting towards the end of 2021. So there might be some money available for businesses that started in 2020. Great question. Simply Carrie, how's it going? What would y'all do if y'all got $200,000 direct deposited into your bank account by the SBA? What would you do with that money? What's the first thing that you would do? Start thinking about that stuff now. Star says, okay, thanks. No problem at all. But this money, we've said for so long in our community, we never had access to real money. Here it is right in front of us. What are we going to do about it? Are we going to rise up to the occasion and take this money, but not only take this money, but get this money and flip it and really make it work and really change the trajectory of our business, but also of our lives? Or are we going to miss this opportunity, right? We will never see this kind of money again at these rates unless we have a pandemic in the future. We'll never see this kind of money. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So it's so important that we take advantage. It's so important that we're on the front lines, really digging in. Simply Carrie says you would market and scale better. Okay. Star Emporium says I would contact you for advice. That's always a great option. Shop BFF says I'd hire your team and a marketing specialist. That's another thing too, y'all. There's a misconception that we are extremely expensive, right? Obviously I'm going to say I don't think we are, but we do have packages for businesses that are not necessarily at the 6-figure mark, but they're just starting out. We have accounting packages that you can sign up for, and then over time, as your business grows, you can grow into bigger, more personalized packages. So if that's something that you didn't know and that you're interested in, feel free to send me a DM. We can talk further about it. The whole goal is to help everybody really get to that next level in their business. I don't know if y'all saw my stories earlier, but every week I'm meeting with different businesses and different industries, and I'm bringing them all together, and we're having really great dialogue around how to scale their business, how to get to that 7-figure level, how to get to that next level, right? Last week, I met with all of our hairstylists / brow tech clients. This week, today, I just met with a lot of our fashion clients. I think next week, I'm meeting with either credit repair or real estate. I'm not for sure. Keisha, my lovely assistant, is taking care of all that. So she puts everybody on the calendar, right? But the whole goal is to really do more, right? And here's the thing. EIDL. I got the EIDL loan. That helped me to do what? It helped me to grow my team. By me being able to grow my team, I'm now able to do things like this, take time out of my schedule and have group calls and group meetings, right? Because now I have more hands on deck to help with the more complicated things that I normally would do. So that's why it's so important to start thinking about team. That's why it's so important to start getting things off of your plate, to not feel like you have to do everything, right? To not feel like you have to be up at this time at night, not because you want to, but because you have to constantly grind, you have to constantly work, and then you got to wake up at 6 o'clock tomorrow and you're barely awake and you're tired. Those days are over. They need to be over. But it starts with making money in your business, handling your money properly, right? And then now taking that money, reinvesting it in your business, and bringing in the talent that's needed, paying for marketing. It's a cycle, right? And then now as you're doing that and you have a really good business that's cash flowing and it has really great financials, now you approach the banks, you get loans from SBA, you get all these things that now help you truly scale. Another story today, so there's a grant that I applied for. Hey, Dr. Irene, how's it going? Latanya, how's it going? And I'll tell you about that in a minute. Queen asked, when you meeting with the healthcare industry folks? That's a great question. It's probably going to be a month from now. I have a one home healthcare client and one personal care client. We don't really have too many healthcare industry clients right now at the moment. So I'm trying to build up that portfolio, but that's a great question. So I'm in a part of a mastermind and they posted about a grant. I think it's called the Founders First Grant. I applied for it. One of the questions that they had on the form, on the application was, are you interested in funding? So I clicked yes. I'm definitely interested in it. And so today we had somebody from their funding department reach out. And, we had a really good conversation. They grilled me. They asked me a ton of questions about my business, about what I do. They were blown away with everything that I was telling them, right? And they were telling me that, I could potentially qualify for a loan, a couple six-figure loan, right? So, yeah, a couple six figures. So I was like, okay, that's cool. But the whole time he was telling me this, what I was thinking about was not myself, but our clients, right? I'm thinking about, okay, how can I bring this back to our clients to help them? Because we're always trying to find more cost-effective money for clients to now have to be able to grow their business, right? And so when I told him that I have a bunch of clients that would also be interested and possibly qualify for this, he now said, yeah, that's cool, but the money that we have that we're trying to lend out to people is specifically for minority-owned businesses. And I was like, dude, we have over 100 clients we work with monthly, and 99% of them are minority women. And you could tell like his whole energy shifted on this call. And he was like, man, we need to really, really talk more in depth. We probably need to do a partnership because we're definitely like the kind of clients you have, we're looking for them. Because the only requirements that they had for this loan was that you submit 2 years of financial statements, you submit some projections in your business, and then you also submit I think they asked for like a debt schedule, right? Like how much debt do you currently have in your business? So I was like, yeah, I could easily send that. And our clients could easily send that as well because we do all that for them. And he was just like, yeah, we need to partner because the whole point of the Founders First grant and the funding is to help minority-owned businesses. Matter of fact, let me pull up the document that he sent me because he literally emailed me immediately after our call. Like literally 5 minutes after our call, he sent me everything that was needed in order for me to apply, but also to tell people. He said on this document, it says, Founders First was formed to support businesses led by women, people of color, LGBTQ plus, military veterans, as well as inclusive teams and businesses located in low to moderate income areas. We provide revenue-based funding and business acceleration advisory support to small businesses. Revenue-based financing is more flexible than traditional bank debt with no equity dilution. It is similar to a term loan format, but instead of a fixed payment every month, we take a percentage of revenue. This allows for a smaller payment during slower revenue months and larger payments in stronger months. So yeah, the lending criteria is the term of the loan would be 2 to 5 years. Funding amounts are from 50 grand to 1 million. And revenue-based financing, a portion of revenues will be paid monthly at a pre-established percentage until the principal and additional fees have been repaid. Typically 3% to 9% of monthly cash receipts is what I would end up paying them as like a repayment each month. And the additional initial underwriting needs are 2 years of financial statements, balance sheet, profit and loss statement, cash flow statement broken out by month, revenue by customer, debt schedule, and projections if available. So yeah, these are things, and it says now here's a caveat. So I know some of y'all that are listening to this are like, man, this is really, really good. He didn't tell me this on the call, but on this document it does say businesses with revenues of 7 figures or higher would be the businesses that they would go after, right? But it does say for companies that do not immediately meet the lending criteria, there's a business accelerator program that's available to provide the tools, partners, and guidance needed to help our members grow. So this is a really, really, really good program. And as I, go through the process, I'm definitely going to share this information with all the clients and everybody that needs it. Because at the end of the day, it's all about really trying to move everybody forward, right? If you get information, share that with the community. If I get it, share it with the community. It's all about how can we all grow together. OI Style says, when are you meeting with fashion clients again? We're meeting with them 6 months from now, March 2022. Alicia, how's it going? Mia, how's it going? Brittany, how's it going? So for those of y'all who are just tuning in, we've been talking about the EIDL loan. And we've been talking about how they've increased the amount of money that you can get from them for a second time, right? The first time they increased it to 500 grand, and now the new cap is $2 million. So this is a huge opportunity for our community. It's a huge opportunity, y'all. Do y'all have any questions before, I sign out for the nights? Let me know. Y'all have any questions around EIDL or lending or just anything in general? And like I said earlier, for those of you who are not at that 6-figure mark but need an accountant, reach out, man. Reach out. We can work something out. We have some packages for you that I think you'd be interested in. And shout out to Shop BFF again for the badge. Much appreciated. This has been good. Like I said, in a few other lives in the past, I definitely want to start coming on here more to just talk about more things. Last week I came on here. We spoke about Biden and him changing a lot of things, right? As far as like how he's doing, like if you are moving money in and out of your account, he wants the banks to track all that. We spoke about that in a previous live. Definitely watch that replay if you get a chance. Also, if y'all are on YouTube, follow my YouTube channel. I'm really going to start pumping more content on YouTube. It's time to go hard. It's time to go up, right? I'm going to take this EIDL money and hire some really good editors, some really good camera people. We're going to get this thing going. Sun Asia, how's it going? Shop BFF says, thank you for sharing. Simply Carrie says, thank you. Appreciate you. No problem at all. No problem at all. I definitely enjoy what I do. I enjoy helping. You know, that's all. That's all it's about. Because if we help, then this really directly impacts not just our community, but our family, the whole nine, right? OI Style says, "What's your YouTube?" That's a great question. I don't know how to. If you search Ephraim CPA, my YouTube channel should pop up. Sexy Black Gemini says, "Thank you so much." No problem at all. No problem at all. I see a few more people have come in though. Yeah, for those of y'all who are coming in just now, the whole night we've been talking about EIDL and how they've increased the limits and how it's a great opportunity for you to apply. If you need help applying, if you've never applied, reach out and we could possibly work something out as far as doing a consultation and really walking through how to do it or whatnot. But at the end of the day, this is a great opportunity for all of us to take advantage of, for our businesses to help it grow, to help continue scaling. And if y'all don't have any more questions, I will sign off for the night. And until next time, I will talk to y'all later.